Man.
Present.
Representative Angelos.
Here.
Representative Haroldson.
Excused.
Representative Pendergraft.
Here.
Representative Sherwood.
Excused.
Representative Smith.
Here.
Chairman Bear.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. All right, today we're discussing Senate File 190 on re-referral. Question being called, no. All right, so this bill passed through our Corporations Committee late last night. So I don't know, have you all reviewed the bill? Do we need to go through the bill? Representative Sherwood's shaking her head no. So let's get right into testimony then, if you guys are comfortable with that. Without objection, we'll start public comment. Mr. Shuck, are you here to comment on Senate File 190? Please come forward. Welcome to House Appropriations. We appreciate your being here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sponsor would be here first, but perhaps not.
Perhaps not.
So, okay.
Sir,
Well,
please share with us your thoughts on Senate File 190.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to speak on this bill. So my name is Brian Shuck. I'm an attorney here in Cheyenne. I've been practicing for over 30 years. For the last 5.5, almost 6 years, I've been serving as general counsel for the Wyoming Republican Party. And in that capacity, I have had the opportunity to be through Title 22, front and backwards, sideways, seen it from every which direction, and have had to live in Title 22 for the last 6 years. And so I look at all of these election bills when they come up. And you have had some excellent election bills in front of you this year. And the House has done a very good job getting some important election bills through. So I appreciate that, and I applaud you in doing that. So I have reviewed this bill, and I have great concerns about this bill. I have been very generous so far and pulled a lot of punches with the clerks who have supported this bill, and had to listen to them last night supporting this bill. And the Wyoming GOP has not had the same experience with our clerks as you all get to have. And so we have asked for test results over the last 6 months related to the testing of the machines, and we have been met with silence, stonewalling. Then when we told them that that wasn't going to work, we were told that the records were sealed and they couldn't give them to us. When we proved that that was wrong, then they said, well, you have to fill out a public records request and you have to do it in writing. So people did that. And then they told them, well, we'll get that to you in 30 days. So this was right before the primary. The general public that I have had to work with during the primary testing and the general testing certainly didn't appreciate that. There was absolutely no transparency there whatsoever. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. We have had a great many problems with our clerks, and for some reason they have a problem with transparency. And this bill is a very good example of that. Here they work with a couple of sponsors to introduce this bill at the very last minute. It's one of the very last Senate files filed. And I have reviewed this bill from a lot of different directions, trying to find a way to amend it and make it work and make it better. And honestly, I can't see how you can do that. I can't see it. It's not possible. So there are a couple of thoughts in the bill that might be worth preserving, but not with the language that they've proposed. And so my recommendation to you would be that this be an interim topic, and I'll be more than happy to work with them. But they never ran this by the Secretary of State's office, and they never ran it by the Wyoming Republican Party. And some people have questioned, well, why would you run it by the Wyoming Republican Party? Well, the answer is the Wyoming Republican Party has been the one pushing election integrity. Hasn't been any other parties. And we have the most people on every one of those ballots. We're the ones who always field a candidate in every race. So that's why we have a dog in that fight. There's a lot that we need to make sure has integrity and make sure that these elections work the way they're supposed to. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I would stand for questions.
Very well. Questions for Mr. Shuck? I would add to the comments that you made about why this would be important for the GOP to have an interest in this bill or any other bill that has to do with Title 22. Doesn't Title 22, Mr. Shuck, apply in a great way to your organization, and in a way that it doesn't really, our statutes really don't apply to other corporations or other types of organizations out there in the world of Wyoming?
That's exactly right.
So could you just explain to the public and to this committee exactly how there's a relationship between the GOP and the state and through these here statutes?
So Title IV deals with major political parties in general. And it would be erroneous to say that the state statutes create parties, because that's absolutely not the case. Parties are a club, and if you question that, I can cite you to 10 or 15 different US Supreme Court cases that say that exactly that. We are created by a group of people who have chosen to group together under the First Amendment right to free association. And so that's what we exist under. But political parties are regulated to what should be a very minimal extent under Chapter 4.
So I mentioned Chapter 22, the election law. So are you saying that Chapter 22 doesn't bring in the parties as well as far as the primaries are concerned, or is it all in Chapter 4?
So it's Title 22.
Title 22.
Chapter 4.
Sorry.
Yep.
My mistake there. It's
Yep.
getting late. All right. Thank you
Yep.
for that clarification. Much appreciated. All right. I have another question for you. You said that I think you were there last night. I think I saw you during the testimony on this bill. I assume you've been around for much of the other testimony based on what you just said about some of these other bills that made it through the House, and some are moving in the Senate, some are not. Have you seen any kind of representation from the other party, the other major party?
No.
No. Okay. All right. And any of the minor parties during your time testifying on these bills?
No.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Mr. Shuck? Seeing none, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Iverson? No? Okay. Seeing no further public comment, we'll close public comment. Is there a will of the body to do something with this bill? Yeah, I think it's probably that has been recorded for all eternity right there. What is the committee's pleasure? I'm hoping everybody's awake. What is the committee's pleasure? This committee's getting out of control. All right, seeing nothing. Going once. Going twice. This bill will fail based on no motion. All right, folks, we're adjourned.
There was motion.